Welcome back to the lunch table, Food for Thought. I'm Nico Blitz. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and all that, man. Special guest, super dope rapper, man. He could probably wrap circles around everybody out right now. He goes by the name of Rozay Royce. What's poppin', man?
Nico, what's good, my brother?
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you again, bro.
So the story of you and I meeting is actually very interesting. It was actually the same day I met Miles Parrish. So I was over here. I think Chuck Dizzle had posted something like, who's somebody that you just recently got put onto? And I tagged Rozay Royce thanks to DJ Hed. So I'm over at this restaurant I spin at regularly. Dude comes up to me. I'm wearing my Real 92.3 shirt. And he's like, yo, are you Nico? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm Rozay Royce. I was like, oh, shit, the same day.
Yeah,
he was like, yo, bro,
crazy.
I just saw your tag right now.
Basically, man, I was, like I said, we was eating and we were talking. I was checking my Instagram and I'm like, okay, who is this guy? And then I looked on the Instagram and Chuck Dizzle asked the question and then Nico mentioned my name and by way of DJ Hed. And as I'm eating, I look to my left and I see a guy with a 92.3 hoodie on. And I was like, my homegirl was like, hold on, he has a 92.3 hoodie on. I was like, hold on, who is that? It looks like the guy right here. I walk up to him. I'm like, oh, you Nico, bro, what's up?
It was
I'm like,
so
Rose,
weird,
it was crazy.
man.
That was literally the exact same day that you mentioned me was the exact same day that I saw you at the restaurant.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was
and
crazy.
You know the crazy part about it? I don't know if you're into astrology or anything.
I mean, here and there.
Yeah, here and there, right? Me too. I'm on the same boat. But, like, I told my girl that same story, and she's super into astrology. She's like, well, you know, since you're a Pisces, that was actually the day, like, Pisces month started.
Are you serious?
And I was like, for real?
That was the first day of, like,
yeah,
the
that was
Pisces
that was the
season?
first day of Pisces season. I was like, you know what? It's going to be a really good month for me. You know what I mean? Like, I just got to milk it now.
That's tight, bro. That's hella tight.
But, you know, like me, DJ Hed, Bootleg Kev, we would be at the radio station. And then, you know, during, like, some dead hours, like, there would be time where Hed's like, yo, like, check this guy out. And he would just pull up your freestyles, and I'm like, yo.
Man, shout
He
out
knows
to
how
DJ
to
Hed,
rap,
dog.
man.
He been really rocking with me since day one, like seriously.
Yeah.
And it's genuine love, you know, like nothing, like, you know, I don't need nothing in return. Royce, like he just genuinely messes with West Coast artists. That's dope. You know what I mean? It's very, very hard to come across people like that that just shows genuine love and support from day one without asking for anything in return.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So shout out DJ Hed, man. He really been solid, like literally since day one.
So that means you probably gotten, like, a whole bunch of people showing you fake love prior.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know. Some people probably are, but I know since I started to take rapping more seriously, that a lot of people show me a lot of love. You know, don't get me wrong. You're gonna have people that, because music is subjective at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
you gonna have people that don't like what I rap about. You gonna have people that love it. You gonna have people that like it. But I can tell you, social media, I have a big following on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and they honestly are the people who really inspire me to actually take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Because when I used to do the freestyles, when I used to work at the post office, I used to do freestyles just for fun. I never thought about being a rapper ever. And people on Instagram and Twitter like, man, Royce, you really have talent. Like, you dope. You should really take this shit serious. And I used to like push it aside. Like, nah, I don't really know if I really want to do this. And then one day, I was like, you know what? My boy called me like, man, Royce, you really are, like, you have the talent to be just as good as anybody else in the game right now. Like,
Yeah.
if I got to call you and motivate you every day to rap, I will. And that's pretty much what took place. And then it took off from there. Everybody on Twitter just supported me from day one. Like, man, get in the booth, get in the booth, get in the booth. For the longest, I had never been in the studio. I just, like, put a camera in front of me and put a beat on and I'm a rap. So
Damn.
people used to hit me up and ask me, like, yo, you got a SoundCloud? You got any music on YouTube? I'm like, bro, what? I didn't even know what SoundCloud was. I'm like, no, I just freestyle.
How long ago was this?
Okay, so this was in 2016. I started work. I moved. So in 2015, I started working at the post office. And then I used to do freestyles every Friday on Snapchat. So this one, you know, Snapchat was only 10 seconds long.
Yeah.
So I used to do freestyles on Snapchat, and then this was before they made it the extended version. So I had to do like 10 seconds, stop, post it, then put the beat, cue the beat back up, record 10 seconds, post it. So I used to do that every Friday, and I asked my followers on Snapchat, like, pick a beat. Because I don't even use Snapchat no more. I've been stopped using it.
Yeah.
So they'd pick a beat, or I just randomly get off work and pick a beat, start rapping. So that was 2015. Then going into 2016, people was like, man, take it to Instagram and Twitter because the videos were a minute longer. Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I started doing it on Instagram and Twitter. So that's when I kind of like let Snapchat fade away. So I started picking beats, or I have fans pick beats or followers. I wasn't a rapper at the time. And they'd pick a beat, or I'd pick a random beat and I'd do it. And then I posted it. And I remember the very, very first video I posted with my mailman, uniform mode. You know the song by Drake, 4 p.m. in Calabasas?
Yeah.
So I did a freestyle to that beat, and I called it 6 p.m. in South Central. Because when I got off work, it was like 6 o'clock. So I just said,
Okay.
6 p.m. South Central. I did it. And Twitter went crazy. I had like my uniform on, I had my Seattle Seahawk hat on.
Who's this mailman
They was
rapping?
like, who's this dude? And people was making jokes, but people was like, man, that's why my fucking package is late, because he in the car rapping. But I was off work. So, but people was going crazy. Like, people was so surprised, like, dog, we didn't know that you had this. But I was like, man, I do this for fun. Like, this is not something that I want to do. Like, I'm content with being a mailman right now. I'm good. I'm making money. I take care of my daughters.
And I think that's like the difference maker between like you and like other people, because it's like some people like they need to do it for like monetary gains, obviously, because that's always like the number one thing. People want to like get out the hood. People want to like support their family.
Exactly.
But you literally just took this as like like it's actually just really fun, and you just so happen to be really good at it.
No, that's exactly how it happened. Because, like I said again, I played football growing up, so my mindset was football, 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 football. So I used to push music to the side, because I was like, it's something I do for fun. When we were younger, when we have like family get-togethers, or say like Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, I have 5 brothers. My older brother always put an instrumental on at the dinner table, or when we get done eating, he'd be like, okay, we doing a cipher. And he make everybody rap.
At
like,
the dinner table.
You can't leave until you rap, Or I guess when we get done eating dinner, but around the dinner table. So we'd do ciphers. And then in high school, I used to make songs. I used to go around battle rapping at school, or like on Lunch and Nutrition. And then when I got in college, I used to make songs to play in a locker room. So everybody knew that I could rap. And then on our way to games, I rap. We in practice and in the locker room. And people still hit me up about that. Like, man, I remember when at Elko, we used to freestyle. I used to make songs to play in the locker room, like literally. So, but I was never, ever thought like I wanted to do this like serious, until I got that I got that love and support from Twitter and Instagram by just doing freestyle videos, And the biggest challenge was people asked me, okay, can you make songs? Can you make songs? I mean, anybody can freestyle, which is true. But like, can you make songs? So you know what? I'm gonna dedicate my time and effort to putting a project together. And that's when I came out with Figueroa, the EP. It was just 6 songs. So I don't want to do too much. I just want to give people a little bit just to see the feedback that I got. And Figueroa went crazy. And it's a classic song in there called 453, my intro.
Yeah.
And everybody loves it. Like literally, that's what when Hed heard it, that's when he DM'd me like, yo, call me. You know what I'm saying? What's your number? And I hit him. He was like, man, this is DJ Hed from 92.3. And I was want to let you know, bro, you dope as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, like, it was genuine. Like, man, I listen to 453 every day. Verbatim. Those are exactly where I listen to 453 every day. That's a sweet song. And but I mean, him, amongst others, also love that song. And it was just something like, it's just me. There's no fabrication. It's just the way that I grew up. I grew up on 6th and Figueroa. So I was like, you know what? The first song that I make is going to be about who I am. And 453 is my address that I grew up in. So
you put out your address?
453 West 60th Street. Yeah. I mean, I don't live there anymore, but that's the house that I grew up in my whole life up until like I was 20, and then we moved away. But yeah, so
what was it like for you growing up on Fig?
Man, life was crazy. Look, I put it like this, bro. Look. So I grew up in the hood. The same house that I grew up in is the same house that my mom grew up in, and the same house that my grandma grew up in. So I didn't go to any of the neighborhood local schools. We always was busted. I was in performing arts. I've been in performing arts in Magnet since we all of my mom's kids. All my brothers and sisters. We've been in Magnet since we were younger. So I went to Ambler Elementary in Carson, and then I went to Bancroft Middle School, performing arts in Hollywood. Then I went to Narbonne to play football. But I mean, just growing up on 60th and Fig, it was like, I mean, honestly, I didn't realize it until I got older. But bro, we were poor, like literally. But when you're a kid, you don't see that. All you see is you got your family, you got your brothers, you got your sisters, you got your mom.
And you're like,
your
this
cousins,
is normal.
And this is normal. I come home from school, catch the bus, get off the bus, go home, drop my backpack off, go outside, play, come back in the house, shower, eat, do homework. But we did that every day, and everybody on my block was like a family because we all grew. Our block was not that long or big. Our block was like only 9 houses, and across the street from our block, across the street, on our block across the street was a elementary school, 61st Street Elementary School. So our block was very short, 9 houses, and it was Hispanics and blacks. And we pretty much all grew up together from toddlers until we were adults. So we was all like family. The next door neighbors were like aunties and grandmas, and then all the kids in the neighborhood that was my age or a little, my age group, we just cousins, and we used to go and play football and basketball and run track and play softball against the other block. So I grew up on 60th and Fig, right? So we'd go to 59th and go play all the kids around our age. We'd go to 60th, we'd go to 61st. And then since we had a 61st Street elementary school across the street, we'd go hop the fence and go play basketball against the other streets, you know? So it was like, growing up on 60th and Fig, bro, it was fun. You know, it was fun because we were all like closely knitted and we were like family. And it wasn't, like I said, I mean, you had the drugs, obviously, you had the prostitution, pimping, you know, the violence, you know. But
it seems like you were out. It seems like you were kind of out of all of that, though.
I was, because my parents put us in sports at an early age. So that's why I got a song called Over Me. The second song on Figueroa is called Over Me. And it pretty much touched on the fact that I grew up in the hood, but I used other avenues to make it out. You know, my mom had 4 boys, and of all 4 of her sons, we never been to jail. You know, we never been in no illegal trouble. But like I said, at the end of the day, we still from the hood. You know, but we were in sports and dancing or just anything. You know, if we wasn't playing baseball, we playing football. If we weren't playing football, we playing basketball. And that is what kept us out of trouble. So when I get out of school, guess what? Instead of me going home or going to the neighborhood to hang out with the homies, I'm going to football practice. By the time I get out of football practice, I'm going home.
You're dead ass tired.
I'm dumb. I'm too tired to be gangbanging. You know what I mean? I'm too tired for that. You know what I mean? I want to go home and eat, take a shower, go to sleep, and get ready to do it all over again. You know? Because my older brother, I pretty much just follow his footsteps. He played football, went to college, went to the NFL, and that's why I always thought, like, you know, okay, football is my genius level talent. I remember watching an interview from Jay-Z, and he spoke about how everybody have a genius level talent, but you got to figure it out. I don't know if you ever seen that. You could probably Google
seen that
YouTube.
One.
Yeah, he said everybody have a genius level talent that God gave them, but you have to figure it out. My whole life I thought football was my genius level talent. Come to find out, it wasn't. I've been pushing music away all these years. My brother's genius level talent was just obviously football. He played high school, played college, went to the NFL. That's not my genius level talent. Now I figured out it's music.
Damn, man.
It took that long. But there's no time limit on when you find it. When you find it, you gonna know what it is.
Well, it seems like, you know, back in the day when, you know, you and your brothers would be at the dinner table, you guys rapping, and then you really just carrying it on throughout your entire life. You don't really know that that's what you're truly invested in up until like later on, until like a Snapchat or an Instagram like starts showing you love and like, oh, this might actually be my genius level talent, even though I thought football was what I thought I was supposed to be doing this entire time.
But luckily, I was so far removed from football because I stopped playing when I left college in 2012. I stopped playing football and I moved to Seattle and I was living with my older brother.
Why'd you stop?
I was just over it, bro. Like I was just over it. Like still to this day, like I have a cousin who's like so far into football. He has his own little brand going, you know, shout out to Premium Sports.
Yeah.
But I'm just not, I don't have the patience to be a coach. I don't even have the patience to be a player no more. Like I'm not disgusted with the game of football, but I'm just not into it anymore, you know? And
well, even like the lifespan of a football player is only like what, 5 years or so?
Yeah, 3 to 5 years, you
short.
know? And like I said, at the end of the day, my cousin wants me to come out and coach. I'm just like, bro, I don't have the patience now. Luckily, my daughter, she teaches me the patience because, you know, you got to have patience for your own kids. She runs track, and I coach her in track. I train her. So that kind of like keeps me motivated or keeps me young, keeps me energized and energetic because I still work out on
Well, you're her coach.
Yeah, well, I coach the
like you're her life coach.
Yeah, I'm her life coach, exactly. But as far as track go, I help out with the 8 and under, you know, because she's 6. She turned 7 in April. But she teaches me patience. But I don't have the patience to go out and coach high schoolers or middle school Pop Warner because the type of player that I was, you tell me something once, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And me being a coach, if I tell a player something and he don't get it, I'm going to be ready to go off. And it's like, you can't do that because you're training these
Especially
kids.
the 8th.
Yeah, you know, so it's like, nah. So I'd rather just stay away from it and let them do it. You know, if I ever have a son, I'm not going to be that dad coach, like try to be the coach and his dad at the same time. No, I'm going to be his dad, but the coach's coach. I always hated.
Shout out LeVar Ball.
Yeah, I always hated dudes that do. Well, see, I'm going to keep it real. Since we touched on LeVar. LeVar actually coached all 3 of his boys, so that's not really an issue. I'm talking about more so the parents who don't allow coaches to do their job, like always interfering. Like, you should have my boy doing this. You should have. LeVar actually created his own team, and so I'm gonna coach my own sons. That's perfectly fine. I just don't have the patience to do it, But I think when you have kids, it makes it a little easier. But to coach strangers or to coach other kids, I just
Yeah,
don't have
because
it.
then you have to deal with the kids, and then on top of that, you have to deal with the kids' parents.
Exactly.
And
Then you got to deal with the kids who aren't as talented or as the super talented kids.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
actually really rough.
And then you got parents complaining, like, why my kid not playing? Why my kid not doing this? And it's like you got to break it down to a parent, like, yeah, look, your kid's not that good. And you can't be harsh, but I'm harsh like that. I'm like, your kid's he's not cutting it.
Yeah.
But if they're paying their money to play Pop Warner, it's not like high school. High school, you can be as harsh as you want. Like, you can leave if you want. But when you're playing Pop Warner, when you're dealing with kids, you have to be patient. And I don't have that type of patience. And my kids are helping me with it, but I don't think I have it for somebody else's kids. So I'd rather just stay away from sports and just watch it. That's it.
Yeah. You mentioned your kid a lot, man. And that's a beautiful thing, especially being in hip hop too, because like we hear multiple stories about like the father not being there or the mother not being there, or both parents not even being there. So then what's it like for you being a father in this genre we call hip hop?
Man, to be honest with you, I have two girls. Two
daughters.
I have two girls,
Damn, man.
6-year-old and a 1-year-old. Well, 1.5, she'll be 2 in April.
Congrats, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. And they actually motivate me more than anything. And like I said, it can always be seen as being cliche, like, oh, you're everybody say the kids motivate them. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with being motivated by your kids, because at the end of the day, everything that I do is for them. I'm no longer living for myself. So everything that I do, every decision that I make I always have to think about my two daughters first, because I know if I do anything, if I make a selfish decision that put me in a situation where I'm taken away, then I know that now they're in a situation where they got to grow up without dad. So every decision that I make, I always implement them into it, because it's like, okay, if I make this decision, how is it going to affect my daughters? Whether it's positive or negative. I don't want to affect them in a negative way. I only want to affect them in a positive way. So everything that I do is about them. So when I make music, when I drop this album, that comes out in about 2 weeks, you can hear it. Like everything that I rap about, I make sure that I incorporate them, because at the end of the day, they are who I do it for.
So what was it like telling your daughter, the 6-year-old, that like, hey, I'm a professional rapper?
Oh, so she's the funniest because look, she knows every song word for word. At that age, 5, 6-year-old, their brains work like crazy. So she literally, I get in my car, or I pick her up. Yo, Daddy, can you play this song? Can you play 453? Can you play Over Me? Can you play Salary? Can you play West Side? Like, she knows my songs over and over and over and over. And then my nieces and my little cousins, they know them too. My sister will send me videos of my nieces dancing to the music or reciting the lyrics and stuff like
insane.
that. So every time I make new music, I let her hear it first, and she'd be like, Dad, can you stop cursing? Can you stop cursing?
Oh, wow.
But it's just like...
So when she repeats the lyrics, does she curse?
No, she don't, because they know. It's just funny because they know, and I don't even have to tell her. She just know. And I was like, no, baby, I can't stop cursing. And, and then she's like, okay, but at the end of the day, like I said, that kind of stuff just brings joy to my heart, to know that my daughter actually understands like what's going on. I'm pretty sure she'd be at school telling everybody, like, my daddy's rapping. Like when I went on 92.3 the other day freestyle, I let her look. I'm like, look, your daddy. I'm like, Daddy was on the radio rapping, and then she was like, Daddy, you were on TV. You're on TV. You know what I mean? And I was like, no, Daddy was just on the radio. She was like, can I listen to it? And I was like, well, it was not live. We already recorded. So she always like, let me see your phone. Let me listen. So she listened to it. But she literally knows word for word. And I'm like, you want to be a rapper one day? She was like, yeah, can you write some music for me? But she's hella smart. Like, hella smart.
Look at you, man, getting songwriting credits already.
Right. But we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like your daughter just has like a really good head on her shoulders.
Oh,
like
definitely.
The fact that like you can make songs with like a whole bunch of cursing in it, and she won't curse. I guess she kind of understands at this time in which, like, even though you are her dad, you are also the entertainer, and she's able to separate that. That's really, I feel like that's really something difficult to instill in your kid.
I mean, I can give a lot of credit to her mom also, because like I said, it's a two-way street. She spends a lot of time with her mom, just like she spends a lot of time with me, even though me and her mom aren't together, but we work together as a unit to co-parent a 6-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Like, if it's no over there, then it's no over here. If it's yes over there, then it's yes over here. It's not one of those situations where you got a kid who like, okay, well, if my mom says no, I'm going to ask my dad. Or if my dad says no, I'm going to ask my mom. Like, she understands the rules and the regulations and the consequences and the repercussions of being disobedient,
Wow.
and teaching her right from wrong at an early age has just been, it's been crazy because, like I said, now that she's 6 years old, she literally she knows. Like she knows. I don't have to tell her, don't say those words. Or like kids know. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, when they're at school, they pick up different influences from other kids, and they, what I'm saying? Like they learn a lot in the home, but they're gonna learn more outside of the home because, as you know, we spend more time outside of the home when we were kids and we're going to school than we do inside our home. We're going to school 8 hours of the day, and we're away and we're around strangers and friends, and we picking up different things. So she know right from wrong because she'd come ask me, like, can I say this or can I say that? Or is this a bad word? Or is this good or is this bad? And you got to let them know, because at the end of the day, you can't allow outsiders to raise your kid because it starts in the home. And that's just how we were raised. All my siblings, my mom and my dad instilled in us from an early age, home training.
You had both parents in your life too.
I had both parents.
Damn, man.
I lived in a 2-parent household up until I was like 12. My mom and my dad was married for close to like 20 years, maybe a little under 20 years, until they divorced or whatever. But my dad was still around. My mom and my dad didn't separate, and then my dad vanished. He was still around. He picked us up every day, took us to school.
Wow.
Was at every football game. Was at every track meet. At almost every other practice. Because he worked during the day too. But literally, my parents made it work. Made the co-parenting work. It wasn't like, okay, since we're not together no more, you got some parents who they divorce, the dad just disappears, like, or if the kids go with the dad, then the mom is nowhere to be found. I got so many friends who I have conversations with, and they don't have that relationship with their mom and their dad. I literally talk to my mom every day. I literally talk to my dad every day, and I'm an adult. So it was just instilled in me. I talk to my brothers. I talk to my siblings every day. Cause now with group chats, we have a group chat. I got one with all my brothers. I got one with my brothers and my sisters. I got one with my mom, my sister, my cousin. So I literally talk to my family every single day, whether we just sending each other memes or sending each other funny videos or sending each other the gospel, or talking about what we're doing this weekend. I talk to my family every day because they also are a huge part of what I do.
Yeah. What's crazy? I was going to ask you if you ever feel like you have to put on for, your family or like your hood per se, but like it seems like with the fact that like you really pursuing being a rapper, right? And seeing as how your community growing up was just very close knit, and now during this time, like all of you are pretty much like separated on your own lives, like you're still able to, I guess, keep the communication going between all of you. And in a sense, I feel like that's, carrying your hood with whatever you need to do. Carrying your hood like as you rap, carrying your family like as you rap.
Definitely. And that's exactly why I always make references to how I grew up or where I grew up at. Not so much on like gangbanging, but just, this is where I'm from. I'm from 60th and Fig. Everybody know that 60th and Fig is notoriously known for either the Hoovers or prostitution and pimping and drug dealing, or killing. It's a violent neighborhood in South Central Los Angeles. But at the same time, I'm not gonna get on the record talking about I'm from here, I'm from this, what but I will get on the record letting you know, like, this is where I'm from, this is how I grew up, because I will never forget where I came from, And I remember those days growing up on Figueroa when I seen my friend get killed.
Wow.
I drive by, literally, guy pulled up in front of my granny house and let off a whole round from a chopper and knocked all 5 of my friends down, shooting 2, killing 2. 2 got shot in the head. I rap about it in 453 if you listen to me. If you go listen to 453, I make reference to that whole, I paint a vivid picture about what took place on a Sunday afternoon around 12 o'clock. Literally.
You being somebody who, just saw the rotation as a regular thing, like you waking up in the morning, hanging out with your brothers and sisters, going to school, playing football, coming back. How did something like that affect you, seeing your friends get shot like literally right in front of you?
Man, it was literally the craziest thing ever. As far as the way it affected me, it just made me realize that life is short. You have to cherish every moment. You have to love, hug, and kiss on your loved ones because you never know when it's going to be your time. My favorite saying is, there's no expiration date on life. The expiration date on life not visible, basically. So you never know when that day is going to come. So you literally have to just live life to the fullest. I don't hold grudges. I don't dwell on the past. I don't wake up mad about something that happened the day before, let alone wake and be mad about something that happened 10 minutes ago. I literally let everything go because at the end of the day, life is way too short. Maybe you can get into an argument and I'm going to say what I have to say. You're going to say what you have to say 10 minutes later and back to, what's up, Nico? What's up, bro? But that's how I am. But see, some of my friends and some of my family members, they don't know how to, they can't understand or grasp that concept. They think that since we get into an argument that I should be mad for a whole week. Like, no, that's what women do, And don't get me wrong, some men are like that too, but we can have a disagreement. I say what I gotta say, you say what you gotta say, and then everything is smooth.
Yeah.
But that was definitely an eye opener because when this happened, I was 13. Yeah, I was 13 years old, and it was something like a movie. I've never seen so much blood in my life. Like I'm in my grandma's house chilling, and my little sister's outside, and all we hear is a car pull up, slam on brakes, and all you can hear is and we run outside. The car hit the block, hit the corner. We run outside, run down the street. Like I said, everybody on my block was like family. The Hispanics and the Blacks, we was all like one big family because we all grew up on the same block since birth, basically. We had no outsiders. Everybody was on the block are either still there. Some of them are still there now. Some of them moved away, but we all grew up together for 20 years. So we all run down the street. My mom come outside. The next door neighbors come outside. We run down the street and see all 5 of my friends hit. Like I said, 2 instantly died on the spot. They got shot in the head. The other 2 got shot like in the appendix. 1 got shot in the leg. I think 1 got shot in the arm. And there were 3 out of the 5, 3 were brothers. So that kind of hit home because, like I said, I told you I have 5 brothers, and Lord knows how I'll act up if I see something like that, or if I hear something, or even if I'm just a part of something like that, And it was just a sad day because my sister was 5 years old at the time, and she literally witnessed the whole thing. And we go running down the street, and he had just had a newborn, and his wife was literally cradling him in his arms, like, "Don't die, don't die." But blood coming out, like his brains were literally on on the cement. It was like it was so much blood. It's like something that you see like in a horror film. I've never seen nothing like that in my life, literally. And this was at 13. So it's like after that, it was like, okay, well, this is like it's nothing you can do about it. This is my neighborhood. This is how I grew up. So that's why I tell people nothing really phases me because at the end of the day, I've seen what's worse than that? Seeing your homies that you grew up with from a toddler, be gunned down in cold blood. And still to this day, I don't even know if they even found who did it or not, But yeah, so now everything that I talk about, I always mention my neighborhood because, like I said, I will never forget that day, but I would never forget where I came from. So I always try to make emphasis on letting people know, like, yo, this is how I grew up, or this is where I grew up at.
After hearing an experience like that, it's insane to me how you don't have this whole revenge on your mind type of deal. You know what I mean? And I don't know. You said you used to like go to church, or you have like a lot of.
We grew up in church.
Is that something that's like really helped you like get through that moment and not necessarily like have revenge on your mind the entire time?
I definitely believe that it plays a huge part. Because as far as I can remember, we started off in church. I remember, as far as I can remember, probably 4 or 5 years old. Simply because that's when I started to understand like what was going on. I grew up playing drums in church, so now as far as I can remember. That was like around 5, 6 years old, the same age that my daughter is now. And we went to church literally every Sunday. Me, my mom, my dad, and all 6 of my siblings. Every Sunday we were in church. And if it was a double service, we was in there for both services. And if a game was on, I'm in there mad. Like, man, I'm ready to go home, man.
I'm just trying to watch this game.
I'm trying to go watch football, basketball. And if I'm tired, I'm in there asleep. My mama pull my ear like, wake up. Like, we don't sleep in church. So I literally grew up in church. We participated in Easter speeches. We participated in like the Christmas activity. Every holiday there was something different. But yeah, we grew up in church. Oh, my grandma also. But yeah, we grew up in church. Literally every Sunday we were in church. So yeah, that definitely helps me a lot to not think about revenge. I'm not saying like I'm the most religious, spiritual person, but at the same time, I know that being revengeful is only going to lead me to 2 places. jail, or 6 feet under.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like that's not the type of life that I want. You know, now that I got kids, like if I was younger, maybe when I was younger, I was a knucklehead. You know, I ran with the homies. We used to go look for trouble. You know, go to parties just to go fight. You know, instead of going to the party and try to talk to girls, like that's what we did. But I was 16, 17, 18. But as I got older, especially when I had a kid at 20, my first kid at 21. Once I had a kid, I'm like, you know what? This has got to be nipped in the bud, because if I do anything to jeopardize my freedom or jeopardize my life, that's just me being unselfish. I'm sorry. That's me being selfish.
And your daughter would grow up without having her dad.
Exactly. You know, and I have partners right now who grew up without a dad, and I got partners that's resting in peace right now, and their kids are out here without a dad because of poor decision making. You know, and at the end of the day, life is choices. Like, life is choices, so I'm not going to choose to put myself in jeopardy or put my life or my freedom in jeopardy because, one, I love freedom too much. I love fresh air. You know, like, I love good food, and I love women. So I don't want to be put in jail to where I don't have access to any of those.
Yeah.
You know, so no. I'd rather, a lot of people feel some type of way. They're like, you know, I die for my respect. Okay, that's fine and dandy. Or, you know.
But then there's so many other people who get affected by the respect that you so want.
Exactly. You know, so you can have that. You can have that mentality if you want to. That's not my mentality, you know. But I mean, a lot of that is credited to the way I was raised. Like I said, I went to school, so I'm not a dummy. A lot of these dudes, I'm not gonna say you need school, but a lot of these kids just don't. A lot of these people don't educate themselves, like self-education. Forget school. I feel like whether you go to school or not, outside of high school, you know, you need a high school diploma. If you don't want to go to college, that's perfectly fine. But educate yourself. You know, if you don't want to go pay for education, perfectly fine. But educate yourself.
But you need to figure out what you want to do for like the rest of your life.
Exactly.
You need to like understand it like at that time.
Exactly.
That's why like even like Bootleg Kev, for example, right? Like he didn't go to college, I don't believe, but he started radio when he was 16. And once he figured out radio was like the way for him to go, he was just like, all right, I'm tapping in and I'm making sure that everything that I do from this day forward is just radio.
Exactly. And he stayed the course, and now he's where he wants to be, you know? Yeah. Excuse me, but yeah, man. So my biggest thing was growing up in a neighborhood like the one I did, to be able to go back into the same neighborhood and have a conversation with the kids who grew up the same way I did, and letting them know like there's more to life than just hanging on the corner, gang banging, selling drugs, participating in, you know, illegal activities, violence and shit like that. And like I said, I was young. Me and my homies, we all did the same thing, but sports was the way out. That was everybody.
Let me ask you this: like, what do your brothers and sisters do as their careers?
Okay, so my older brother, he played college football and he played in the NFL.
Okay,
won a Super Bowl ring. Now he's on his second career. He's a firefighter.
What's his name?
Roy Lewis. He played for.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he played for. He played for Pittsburgh Steelers in 08. His rookie year, won a ring. Then he went to Seattle Seahawks. Had the luxury of playing professionally in the same city he went to college in. Played. Now he's on his second career. He lives in Phoenix, Arizona. He's a firefighter.
Wow.
My younger brother is a sheriff, and then I have the middle brother. He works at the post office. He's a supervisor, and then my sister works for Los Angeles Unified School District with like special ed kids. Yeah. See, and then my younger sister, she's in college right now. I think she goes to LMU.
Okay. And she, you know, she has her own aspirations too.
Well, she I don't know what she studies, but she works full time. She's a full time student, and she works full time at Leapwood Elementary. So she works for the district also.
And you know, the sole reason why I asked that is because you're a rapper. One of your brothers, football player turned firefighter. The other one's a supervisor. The other one's a sheriff. Your sister works at the LA Unified School District, and your other sister's in college, right? Reason why I asked all of that is because I think a lot of kids get this misconception that like rap is the way to go. You know what I mean? But just with your example, your entire family, it's like, well, you can be a rapper, you can be a sheriff, you can be a football player, a firefighter, a teacher, anything.
I'm glad you touched on that because that's what I was getting ready to get at. Growing up, I played football and I studied criminal justice in school.
Wow.
And a part of me, when I was younger, I did want to go into law enforcement, but I used to argue argue. All I did was argue. So people are like, man, Roy, you should be a lawyer. You should be a lawyer. You should go to school to be a lawyer. People still tell me that to this day. And, it's never too late. Because time is man-made, and nobody can put a time limit on success.
Amen.
So at the end of the day, people are like, man, you should go to school to be a lawyer. You should go to school to be a lawyer. Now, do I have the dedication and the time to do it right now? I don't. But I know if I put my mind and my body and my heart and my soul into it, I'll go get it done. Same with the music stuff. But yeah, I studied criminal justice in school, and I know I want to do something as far as like law enforcement, whether it's probation or sheriff, LAPD, whatever the case may be, or even a lawyer, or FBI. But at the end of the day, my biggest thing was to go back into the same neighborhood, as I said earlier, that I grew up in, and let these kids know, like I said, there's more to life. I know on TV, all you see is minorities participating in either entertainment, rap, dancing of some sort, actor, actresses, or athlete. And I have no issue with going to school and getting a free education based off you being good enough to get a athletic scholarship, because that was the only way we was gonna get out of it. It was 6 of us. You think my mom and my dad had enough money to put all of us through college? No, it wasn't like that growing up. I'm just being honest. It wasn't like that. So guess what? Put us in sports. Hopefully we're good enough to go to school and get, even if it's a partial scholarship. Yeah. So we all went to school except the middle brother, the only one, because he didn't give a fuck about school. He was just a fly guy, but he was honestly the most athletic and the most gifted out of all of us. But he got caught up in different stuff, But yeah. That was my biggest thing. My goal, still to this day, is to go into the same neighborhood I grew up in and let these kids know, like, yo, there's more to life than just hanging out, selling drugs, waking up every morning, smoking weed, being a rapper. And I say that at being an artist myself, but it's like this isn't something that I wanted to be from day one. This is something that just happened organically, So at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with going to school. There's nothing wrong with going to school to be a lawyer, going to school to be a doctor, going to school to be a RN, going to school to be a scientist, going to school to be a mathematician. It's so many different occupations out there and so many different jobs that you can pursue, whether you grew up in the hood or grew up in the suburbs. Don't allow yourself to don't sell yourself short just because the way you grew up. Because at the end of the day, anybody can go to school. You can find grants, you can find scholarships, but you only can take care of what you can take care of. And if you're in school and you're making the grades that you need to make to get to the next level, then that's all that matters. Can't nobody stop you, can't nobody. I was a mailman, and that wasn't something that I was aspiring to be when I grew up, but at the end of the day, there's minor bumps in the roads and there's stepping stones you got to, touch or cross over. And at the end of the day, before you get to your final destination, you got to go through obstacles. I always tell people the road to success is always under construction. It's always under construction, I
like that.
Yeah, the road to success is always under construction. So until you get to where you need to get to, you're going to face obstacles, and don't allow the environment you grew up in to swallow you whole and spit you out. Because I could have easily fell victim to any of that, like, oh, I didn't make it out because of this, or I didn't make it out. No, it starts in the home, but you also have to make your own decisions as you grow older.
Yeah.
Like my mom put us in sports, but I could have been like, Mom, I don't want to play no fucking sports. I want to go hang out with the homies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I know that would have been a disappointment to my mom and to my dad because they invested all this time and money in all of us just for me to spit in their face or slap me in the face. Like, I don't care what my parents talking about. I'm gonna go opposite. No, that's not how it works. But you got some parents, you got some kids who do, but that's just not how we were raised. I had too much respect for my mom and my dad to ever be disobedient. So don't get me wrong, I got in trouble, but as far as like life goes, I got in trouble for like talking back or maybe having a D or a fail in a certain class. But as far as just like steering off the path of success, just to go do something totally different, no, never. Never, ever.
Dude. You should definitely be like a public speaker.
Yeah, I mean,
in regards to this.
And as I got older, I was able to. A lot of my friends come to me for advice. Like I said, I'm not perfect, but at the end of the day, I'm a realist, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel, whether it's blunt, whether I'm outspoken. I rather give you the cold, brutal truth, and you hate me for it, than to lie to you. Because as a friend, I feel like if you come to me for an opinion or if you come to me for some advice, you value what I say. So if you value what I say, I'm not gonna just blow smoke up your nose and tell you some bullshit. Like, nah, because at the end of the day, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you raw and uncut. And if you take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't. But just know, Royce told me the honest to God truth, and I'm gonna either go left or I'm gonna go right. And that's perfectly fine. But as long as I know in my heart that I told you what needed to be said, I'm never going to feel no type of way.
You know, I think all of this really boils down to the fact that you've seen your friends, you know, get killed right in front of you, because that is just like the cold, honest truth of like what had happened. Because let's say you weren't in that situation, right? And somebody had just like passed you a note of like, hey, you know, like this is what happened, or this is what I'm going to tell you what happened because I don't want you to feel some type of way. Like that wouldn't be right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. So I just can't stress it enough, man. Like I said, at the end of the day, you can literally, you choose the life that you want to live. And we all go through ups and downs, trials and tribulations, but it's up to you to get back on course.
Yeah.
You know, like at the end of the day, literally, the 4 words that I live by is your life, your rules. Literally. It's my life. So I do what I have to do, or I do what I want to do to be successful. And can't nobody stop you.
And, you know, that doesn't mean go out and do, like, whatever you want, because even with your life, your rules, there's also consequences.
There's definitely consequences that come with decisions that you make. Bad decisions at that, you know. But sometimes you're going to have to take a leap of faith. Like, I took a leap of faith. I was working at the post office, and when I decided to take music serious, I quit. And people was like, Royce, what the fuck are you doing? But I'm like,
y'all the same motherfuckers who are pushing me to rap. What are you talking about?
I'm tell you right now, people were acting like, mainly my mom was kind of upset. She was like, Royce, like, you quit your job. You got 2 kids. It's a great job. It's a federal job, you know, government job. Why would you do that? I'm like, Mom, listen, this is not something I want to do forever. I had to break it down to Mom. Like, this is not my career, you know? I'm like, it's people in the post office that have been doing this 20, 30 years. That's what they want to do. This is not what I want to do. I said, I happen to get blessed with a great job. I moved home from Seattle, 2015. My daughter's mom was working at the post office. She said, Royce, they're hiring for letter carriers. I'm like, what the fuck is a letter carrier? Mailman. The formal term is letter carrier. So I'm like, she was like, apply. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm just going to tell you the story. So I applied. They called me back within a week or 2 weeks to I had to go take a test, did the interview, did the drug test, and came home. I came home around Valentine's Day, February 14, 2015. I started working April, so it was like a 2-month process. Started working there. I was able to save up my money, move up my mom's house, get a brand new car. So the job was great. And it's funny because even before I started taking rap serious, one of the guys who was getting ready to retire, he was in for like 40 years. He had a random conversation like, man, look, check this out, Royce. He was like, this job is great. And he was like, the money's great. Every year you get raises. You know, so he was like, this job will suck you in. He was like, I told myself when I got in here, I was only going to do 5 years. He said 5 turned into 10, 10 turned into 13, 13 turned into 20, 20 turned into 25, and here you are. I'm at 40 years. I'm getting ready to retire. He was like, it's a great job, but if there's something that you really want to do in life, you're going to have to quit this job because this job will keep you. It'll pull you in. It'll suck you in. And I remember having that conversation when I decided to quit because I was like, yo, I know being a mailman is not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I know it's a great job, and I was able to provide for my family and take care of my kids and myself. But I'm like, I know it's something bigger and better for me out there. And when my friend called me and told me, like, man, Royce, you really got potential to be something big, I was like, you right. And literally probably like a month later, I put my resignation papers in, like, I'm resigning. And they was asking me, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? The post office didn't know. Like, my manager didn't know why. I'm like, you sure? You want to do this? You sure? I'm like, yes. I'm positive.
Damn.
And it was when everybody was out delivering. So everybody came back, and they didn't see me for like the next couple of weeks. I was like, what happened to Royce? What happened to Royce? And then I guess they had to break the news to him. So they start calling, like, what, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? What's going on? I basically told him, like, man, that's not what I want to do no more. You know, I want to pursue music. And I was like, post office is taking too much up of my time. It's taking too much of my time. You know, because we work Saturdays. I was working sometimes 6 days a week, sometimes 7 when I first started. And I'm just like, bro, I can't keep doing this because, I got the song when I mentioned it in Westside, like, I'm not going to get rich off being a mailman, or I'm not going to be able to live the life that I want to live by being a mailman. If you content with that, that's perfectly fine. Like, it was enough money to live. And like I said, every year I made more and more money, but that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what my heart was. It was just a job that I came home to when I left Seattle. I didn't have a job. I applied, got hired, and it was like, thank you, God, but this is not really what I want to do. So my mom definitely felt some type of way. My dad still felt some type of way. You know, he always tells me, like, you want to go back to the post office? No. Nope.
Not one bit. Yeah.
Not at all. Like sometimes I miss the people, I miss the neighborhood, I miss the people that I used to deliver to, but the job, no, I don't. You know, it kept me in shape for sure though. I used to walk like 13 miles a day. I got down to like under 200 pounds. My mom was like, Royce, are you eating? Because I got super skinny when I first started. I started in the summertime. So that first 3 months of 90-day probation, I dropped to like, I came home at 225. I dropped to like 190, 195.
What the fuck?
And I hadn't been under 200 pounds since like high school. My 11th and 12th grade year when I was playing football, I was like 201, 202. I was wondering, my neck was skinny, my arms were skinny.
Bro.
My mom was like, literally, Royce, are you eating? I'm like, yes, but I walk 13 miles a day. I'm walking up hills. I'm running from dogs and shit. So it's like, I'm like, bruh, I'm literally getting paid to work out. But like I said, it was a great job, but I'm like, no, this is not something I want to do. So I quit my job, and I'm like, you know what? I'm pursuing music.
I think it's like the second you recognize that that's not the spot you want to spend the rest of your life at. Like that's one thing that I feel like a lot of people cannot really get out of, you know? Because some people I see like in my building alone, like some people just look miserable being there. And the last thing I ever wanted to do was like go through life and be like, you know, just one day wake up and be like, fuck, I hate my job. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't hate it. Like I didn't hate it at all. It was a cool job. I just knew that it wasn't something I wanted to do forever. Like I see some of the guys who did it for like 24, 25 years, close to 30 years, and their bodies are broken down completely. Like, because you gotta think about it. When you're an athlete, what do you do to make sure that you stay healthy?
Work out.
Thank you. You work out, you lift weights, you eat right. That job literally is just like a sport. You carrying a satchel on your shoulder that at any given point can go from 0 pounds to 50 pounds. And you're walking up and down the street for 8 hours out of the day with big-ass packages, mail, newspapers, letters, magazines. So that bag can fill up quick. And if you don't work out, like you said in sports, your body's going to break down. So I used to go to the gym every day. When I get off work, I'm doing push-ups, I'm doing curls, I'm doing pull-ups because you have to keep your muscles strong. They don't see back in the day when they started working at the post office, I can tell they didn't look at it as a sport. Me being an athlete, I looked at it as a sport.
So even more so, it was like easier for you because you already had like that
I already had the build. Exactly,
yeah.
It was way easier. So I can carry that satchel. I used to be like the first one back to the office. They'd be like, damn, how the fuck you walk so fast? You know what I'm saying? Because I already got long legs and I'm younger. So once I figure out a route and I know how to do it, it's going to be a breeze, you know? It was to the point where they was telling me, like, Rich, you got to slow down. You got to slow down because when you get done that fast, they're going to just give you more mail. Now you working for free because you come in, say if they give me a 6-hour route, right? So I'm obligated. I got 6 hours to finish that route. If I finish it in 4, well, guess what?
You got 2 more hours.
I got 2 more hours to do whatever I want. If I go back, they're going to give me another 2 hours. So now that's really 8 hours, but I'm only going to get paid for 6 because I just work for free.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you can't do that. But I didn't understand that at first. I'm just like, I'm trying to hurry up, deliver this mail, get the hell up out of here. They was like, no, you don't want to. Why you want to finish fast? You want to get paid all your money.
Yeah.
Because if you can finish fast and go home early, now you just did 6 hours worth of work, but in 4, you're only getting paid for 4 hours. You're working for free. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know? So then, as I got better and better and faster, I saw, okay, let me slow down and let me control my pace because it does me no good to finish fast. But like I said, as far as like hating the job
and everything,
right? I didn't hate the job at all. Like the job was cool. You know, I delivered in a good neighborhood. I had good customers. Like I said, they give me in the summertime, they give you water, they give you juice. Christmas time, they give you presents, they give you money, they give you gift cards. Like literally, so I didn't hate the job at all, but I just knew it wasn't something that I wanted to do forever. So I'm like, you know what? I got to take a leap of faith. And I don't know if you ever saw the interview from Steve Harvey, but he briefly spoke on how if you want to become successful in life, you have to jump. Just imagine yourself, life is a cliff, you have to jump. Like if you're satisfied with just your 9 to 5, that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it, you know, if that's what you want to do. But if there's something that you really, really want to tap into, if you want to tap into another level of life, you're going to have to take that leap of faith and
that leap,
figure it out.
You know, that leap metaphorically and physically, like once you leap off a cliff, it's like you're leaving everything else behind you.
You're literally leaving everything behind. And hopefully, like he said, the parachute is going to come out, you know, and it is what it is. But some people be scared and they spend their whole life being scared to jump off the cliff per se, you know, scared to leap. And then they end up regretting it when they get older. Like, man, I should have did this or that's not me. Yeah. Like, when I saw this window of opportunity, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta take full advantage of this, because if I don't, I'm gonna look back and be like, man, why didn't I do this? Why did I do this? Not knowing what the outcome would be, retroactively. When you look back at it in retrospect, but it's just like, I did it. So if it don't turn out to be whatever it is what I want it to be, at least I know that I did it. Because like I said, I tell people all the time, a 9 to 5 is going to be there for the rest of your life. If it's something that you really want to pursue, you got dreams and aspirations and goals to do something, go do it.
Yeah.
Literally, you see people that's 40, 50 years old working at Walmart. A 9 to 5 is going to be there forever. If you got goals and dreams, go pursue them now, because you're going to one day wake up and regret it when you look back like, man, why the fuck did I not chase or pursue this dream? You know what I mean? So me personally, I never knew. Like I said, I didn't know music was my genius love child. It was just something I did for fun. So whether I did it or not, I would have never woke up like, saying, why didn't I do it? But when people start telling me like, yo, Royce, you need to do this. If I would have kept pushing to the side in the future, I would have looked back like, damn, what if I really did take music serious?
Yeah.
So now it's that time.
So since now's the time, like with your album coming out, like what type of situations do you tap in for your new album?
So it's called Undergrad. I make a lot. It's a lot of references in there. As far as like let's get to the reason why I'm naming it Undergrad is because, okay, I'm known in the city. I'm known in different parts of the country. But at the same time, I'm looking at as me stepping onto the campus of hip hop. I'm an undergrad in the school of hip hop, and this is basically my freshman year, or just my freshman to all combined. I'm just an undergrad, not necessarily a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. I'm just an undergrad, and I'm walking into the campus of hip hop. So the album touches on just a lot of things from, again, how I grew up, meeting new friends, dealing with fake friends, dealing with fake love, tapping into how I feel like I'm the best, like as far as just rapping in the city, just period. Like, like I'm coming for everybody, but not like me being cocky, just like I'm confident enough to know, like,
you could rap
I can
circles.
rap. I know I can rap
You
circles
rap,
around
yeah.
a lot of dudes in that signed, unsigned, and they know it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a really, really good album. And I'm not the type of person who get in my feelings, because like I said, me being an athlete, I've been cussed out, I've been talked about.
You've been through all the
I've been
shits.
through it all. So at the end of the day, I know music is subjective. So it's gonna be somebody who can't relate. It's gonna be somebody who think it's weak. It's gonna be somebody who think it's phenomenal. It's gonna be somebody who think it's mediocre. At the end of the day, that's what comes with this job. You can't try to please everybody. You know what I mean?
You can
Like,
only please your fan base.
you only can please period. At the end of the day, it's gonna be somebody that like you. It's gonna be somebody that love you. It's gonna be somebody that hates you. And at the end of the day, you gotta just take it with a grain of salt, and you gotta just take it for what it is, because you can't try to please every single person. That's why I'm super, super big on the word hate, because just because you disagree with something doesn't necessarily mean that you're hating. You might think this shirt is weak or trash, but I love it. So at the end of the day, that's your personal opinion. That doesn't mean that you're a hater. That's your preference. I might think a pair of shoes that you got aren't really hot. You might love them. That don't mean I'm a hater. It's just preference.
all preference.
It's all preference. So if I tell a rapper, or if I tell another artist, like, I ain't really fucking with that song, or I don't think he that good, that's not me hating. Me personally, I think hating is when you prey on somebody's downfall. Like, man, I hope this nigga don't succeed. I hope this dude don't do this. I hope he falls flat on his face. Like, that's hating. If people out there doing that, then that's just some sucker shit. You know what I mean? I don't play on nobody's downfall. I want everybody to succeed. At the same time, we had earlier, the conversation we had earlier, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. If you ask me for my opinion, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Even if you don't ask for my opinion, I still have the right to be brutally honest. If somebody brings something to my attention, I'm listening to it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Everybody don't like Rozay Royce music, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to call you a hater. It's just, that's not for you. You might, out of 10 songs, you might like 8. The other 2, if you say they trash, that's your opinion. Because guess what? It's going to be somebody else going to be like, no,
Yeah,
them
and
same
then
2,
you think
fire.
your entire album's like fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Personally.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't think I've missed yet. From EP to album, I don't think I've missed. And that's not unrealistic to think, because you got some artists who really just force and put out music over and over and over, and they oversaturate, us with music. And it's like me, I'm not like that. I'd rather take my time and make sure that everything that I put out is grade A quality content, because at the end of the day, all I got is my name. You know, so somebody say Rozay Royce, I want them to, Rozay Royce, he be spitting. Everything he put out is fire.
Exactly.
At least, that's what I try. That's what I try to go after. Not, he all right, he mediocre. And then for the most part, like I said, I've been doing freestyles for, like I said, for the past 2.5 years. And I'm literally having people telling me, like, Royce, you ain't missed yet. You haven't missed yet. You haven't missed yet. I'm not a cocky dude, but I'm very, very confident in my skill. I know for a fact that I can rap.
With that being said, check out that freestyle he did on Real 92.3 with Bootleg Kevin, DJ Hed.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram, which is Rozay Royce. I think it's on Nico's Instagram. It's on DJ Hed Instagram. It's on 92.3 Instagram, and it's also on DJ
Bootleg Kev.
Bootleg Kev's Instagram.
Man. Yeah, check that out, man, and also check out Undergrad when that thing comes out. I'm personally
April
excited,
5th,
man.
April 5th, Undergrad drops. The album release party is gonna be April 7th.
Yeah. Well, this is the lunch table. Rozay Royce, tell everybody where they can find you, man.
You guys can find me on Instagram at Rozay Royce. You guys can find me on Twitter at Rozay Royce. You can find me on YouTube at Rozay Royce. Everything Rozay Royce, no spaces.
Yay! This is the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico Blitz, Rozay Royce. Pleasure to have you, my guy.
Man, good to talk to you again, bro.